Bindi Irwin, as the eldest child of the late crocodile hunter Steve Irwin, has picked up her father's mantle and run with it, ensuring that his legacy of wildlife protection and celebration lives on. But there's more to know about Irwin than just her father's legacy. Bindi Irwin is no stranger to being on television.
I want to talk to you about something. Oh, I just heard something in the back.
Someone is calling.
Oh my gosh, can you hear that?
That may just be our kookaburra.
In addition to starring on Animal Planet's Crikey, It's the Irwins, she's also appeared on the network's other shows, starred in several films and shorts, and appeared on a number of talk shows. She even won Dancing with the Stars in 2015. Even Bindi's grand entrance into the world was caught on tape, which couldn't have been all that comfortable for her mother, Terry Irwin. It's not that this was a planned event, however. As it turns out, the fact that Irwin's birth was filmed was a bit of a coincidence, as Bindi explained to the website New Idea. Dad was filming some crocodiles when suddenly Mum went into labor, so Dad just invited the entire film crew to come and capture the moment. As the publication mused, Irwin was quite literally born into the spotlight. Steve Irwin passed away on September 4th, 2006, when Bindi Irwin was only 8 years old.
He was always there for me when I needed him. I had the best daddy in the whole world, and I will miss him every day.
But no matter how much time passes, the pain is still as fresh as ever for his daughter, who found herself grieving heavily on an unexpected occasion. As she recalled in an interview with Stellar in July 2019 when she was watching a video featuring her dad, "There's old footage of Dad with the crocodiles, and even though I've seen the video maybe 50 times, that day I started crying. Some days you feel the grief more than others." And it's in those small and intimate interactions that Irwin finds herself missing her father the most, adding, "What gets to me are those moments when I'd love him to be here to share what we're doing. I'll think, I wish Dad was here for this. But he's just not there." In addition to caring deeply about wildlife conservation and environmental protections, Bindi Irwin also wants the best for her fellow human beings, especially women. That's why she's using her platform to promote a feminist message to uplift girls and women, as she shared in a chat with Stellar. "As I get older, I'm more and more passionate about inspiring young women to stand up in roles which were traditionally more male-dominated, such as working with reptiles." That's not to say that Irwin finds it easy to be vocal about her passion. She's far too realistic to fall prey to that idea, especially in such a tumultuous social climate. It can be kind of scary standing up for what you believe in, especially with social media, because the world is extremely critical. But we have to find the strength to stay true to what we believe in and forge ahead. Thankfully, though, Irwin has her mother Terry to look up to, telling Stellar, "My mom is Wonder Woman. She's like Sarah Connor in The Terminator." If you're not familiar with Bindi Irwin and Chandler Powell's love story, just know that it's super romantic and incredibly sweet.
I'm so lucky that I found my person in life, and I'm also very lucky that my family loves him just as much as I do.
Naturally, the couple planned a sweet and romantic wedding, but despite their best-laid plans, their long-anticipated wedding had to be scrapped due to the social distancing measures in place throughout much of the world in spring 2020. As Irwin told Entertainment Tonight, "We made the decision not to have any guests at our wedding to make sure everyone was safe, and it was a really tough choice to make." Although it may not have been the day they had in mind, Irwin and Powell's ceremony was still absolutely beautiful, according to a post on Irwin's Instagram page. The two were married in the gardens of the Australia Zoo, with Irwin's family present. The honeymoon also took place at the zoo, where the couple lives and tends to a whole menagerie of animals. Sounds pretty on brand. Bindi Irwin's job isn't for everyone. She works with all kinds of animals at the Australia Zoo and most definitely gets her hands dirty. But as Irwin tells it, she simply couldn't imagine her life any other way, telling Stellar, "I'm living the dream. How many young people start their day watching a giraffe being born and end the day bottle feeding a joey kangaroo?" As the conservationist is extremely fulfilled working with all of her animal friends, she told Stellar, "I don't know how I'd cope if I was living in suburbia with a goldfish. I care about the planet, and my destiny is to make a difference." One thing that's readily apparent about Bindi Irwin is that she radiates a natural beauty. She has gorgeous hair and skin, as well as a smile that lights up the room, and all without putting in much effort at all. That's not to say she's without a style icon, though, gushing in an interview with 9honey, "I love Grace Kelly and her beauty and the way that she just moved. She was incredible and captured everyone's attention no matter what she did." But when it comes to Irwin's ultimate beauty muse, her selection is someone who's much closer to her and who shares many of the traits that make her so stunning, telling 9honey, "My mom is so amazing and effortlessly beautiful every single day." Wondering what gives Irwin her trademark glow? The star doesn't attribute it to a strict skincare routine, but to her ambitions to make the world a better place. Can you possibly be any more wholesome than that? It's abundantly clear that Bindi Irwin lives an extraordinary life. She spends all day, every day working with a diversity of wildlife, having encounters with animals some of us can only dream about. To top it off, Irwin makes regular appearances on the red carpet both in her native Australia and across the pond in the United States. In addition to these incredible experiences, Irwin has also earned herself a rather unique Guinness World Record.
Tell us about this world record.
Oh, it's true. I got a Guinness World Record. Can you believe that? As the most followed conservationist on Instagram.
That's quite the platform to have, and Irwin does a great job raising awareness and educating people with it. But that's all in a day's work for Irwin, who's 100% committed to her work, telling Guinness World Record, "Being a wildlife warrior means to stand up and speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. It's remembering that conservation is not only about the cute and cuddly creatures, but also wildlife like crocodilians, snakes, and sharks." If you're one of Bindi Irwin's millions of Instagram followers, you know that the conservationist often poses with different animals at the Australia Zoo. It's not just the typically cute creatures, but animals ranging from snakes to sea turtles to, of course, crocodiles. You can't be an Irwin if you don't love them, right? While Irwin isn't afraid of most animals, no matter how scary they might look to the rest of us, there is one creature that she finds nerve-wracking. Revealing in a chat with New Idea, "I've never been scared of saltwater crocodiles or snakes or spiders, but I'm terribly afraid of wasps." However, Irwin has a good reason for fearing those small, potentially stinging insects, saying to New Idea, "I think it's because I can't read them. With a crocodile, you can tell when they're going to strike." Well, she can. The jury's still out on that for the rest of us. While the siblings Bindi and Robert Irwin are quite close to one another, they have just as many differences as they do similarities. For one, Bindi is the older sibling, which has allowed her to help raise Robert in Steve's absence, saying in an interview with Stellar, "I've watched him grow and change and become his own person. He's so strong and science-minded, yet he's also quite fashionable." Although Robert has an undeniable sartorial inclination, Bindi would not use the word fashionable to describe herself, admitting to Stellar that, "When Chandler and I walk into a room, Robert says, 'Here come the vanillas.'" Working all day, every day in a zoo environment, Bindi Irwin is all about being practical in her dress, even if that does make her, quote, vanilla. So it's understandable that she's not running around in gowns and stilettos and instead reserves fancy couture for the red carpet. However, there's one accessory she hadn't even considered until she had the opportunity of a lifetime, explaining in an interview with 9Honey, "I had never worn high heels in my entire life until I got to Dancing with the Stars. So I put my high heels on for the first time and fell flat on my face." Looking back, Irwin thinks that's definitely one thing she should have done to be better prepared for the show, but in the end, she's still dominated the dance floor. From the looks of it, Bindi Irwin is non-stop, but just because she has to be on all the time doesn't mean it's in her nature. As she confessed to Stellar, "Everyone thinks I'm an extrovert because of what I do and where I live, but my favorite day would be quiet with no people, just animals." Still, Irwin doesn't mind being around people all of the time and even celebrates her birthday by giving tours to families at the zoo to mark the occasion. Kids even get free entry that day, with Bindi saying, "It's a great opportunity for large families with 6 kids to come and enjoy the animals." Bindi Irwin's marriage to Chandler Powell may look traditional on the outside, but the couple bucks a few societal norms here and there. For one, Irwin can sometimes get so absorbed in her work that she doesn't have a ton of time for him, as she explained in a 2019 interview with Stellar about how the couple copes with Bindi's crazy busy schedule, saying, "At the moment, I'm writing a book marking 50 years of Australia Zoo, so I've barely said 2 words to Chandler over the last few weeks." It seems like he takes the occasional lack of togetherness well, as she went on to explain, "Through it all, he just lets me work and subtly does little things for me." Rather than complain about her lack of free time, Powell steps up and does what he can to support his wife, even if it's not manly by traditional standards. She went into details, saying, "I'll be writing and suddenly there will be a cup of tea next to me, or he'll bring a blanket or set up a picnic outside so I can enjoy a break. He does the laundry and the dishes and cleans the house." Even though Irwin is now a married woman, she won't be changing her last name to Powell anytime soon, and there's a special reason why, telling Entertainment Tonight, "I've kept Bindi Irwin. I think that for me personally, after Dad passed away, it was really important for me to feel close to him, and having his last name means so much to me. Nothing but respect for that decision, Bindi." Additionally, since Powell lives at the Australia Zoo, he's been absorbed by the entire crocodile hunting family, with Bindi adding, "Chandler has become an Irwin now." With all that Bindi Irwin has already accomplished in her life, you might be wondering what's next for her. Given that she's a total family person, she's hoped of having children of her own, revealing in a 2019 interview with New Idea, "Absolutely. One day it'd be special to have my own little wildlife warriors. I think it's a way away right now, but if and when it does happen, I can guarantee you they'll have their own khaki." So we're sure she was ecstatic when she became pregnant. She announced her pregnancy on Instagram in August 2020. Just as Erwin's father hoped that she would fall in love with wildlife and conservation as he himself did, Erwin hopes to pass that passion onto her little ones with an ambitious plan. We'll take over the world and make a difference together. The reality TV star added that she's super excited and has high hopes about how her future will unfold. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more The List videos about your favorite celebrity animal wranglers are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.